Hello, watchers. Welcome. We are watching whatever. I'm Nathan.
I'm Danny.
We are here back today watching The Glory, episode 4. Once again, I have seen the show. Danny has not, so this is going to be all new for him. And so far, we discussed about the aspects of bullying and what justice would be or would mean to each of us, and what justice could mean for any of you out there. But this show is a slow build, so I know Danny just needs a little bit of patience to have it build up and get to where it is. Obviously, especially being a Korean drama, they do really like to slow down the pace a lot, extend it out as much as they can, unfortunately. But that's just the way it goes. So, well, we're gonna start episode 4 here in just a second. Anything you wanna quip?
No, I'm just looking forward to getting into the show again.
All right. So before we start, please remember to subscribe, like, check out our Patreon, and we're gonna start the show.
The last episode we kind of found out what the relevance of the eyeball was, right?
Yeah, do you remember it?
Yeah, like the girl's colorblind, and that's like a clue that maybe the main villainess's daughter is probably the rich guy's kid.
Well, remember, there's two rich guys. Her husband is also really rich.
Ah, the rich
So
bully.
yeah, Yeonjin's daughter. So we get a I don't know if it's a clue or a hint or a little tease that it's possibly Chejun's daughter.
Off with
That
a flashback this episode, huh?
Yeah, I think like you said that one time where at episode 2 you kind of lose that sense of really wanting to get back at them. So
Right.
I think they throw the things in just to get our bloods boiling again.
Right.
What a waste of chocolate milk. And no one is stepping up to help. That's fascinating how they have this like hymn type of church music, and then with the door, the light, it makes that cross,
Right.
and she's struggling towards it.
불행이 크게 웃던 그 입과 입맞춤 모든 입 비릿하던 그 눈과 그 모든 순간을 기뻐하던 너의 영혼 연진아 용서는 없어.
Like real.
Mm.
I heard in Korean shows, man, they like sometimes they be really smacking them and stuff.
Yeah, a lot of these Korean movies and dramas, they actually have them hidden for real.
Are they actors? They're
But
not torture victims.
but a lot of the actors go for it. Some of them will tell the other person, "Hey, hit me harder, make it look real."
Crazy, dude.
Dedication to your craft.
I guess.
That's just creepy.
I was thinking last episode, it seems like pretty early for the main character to kind of confront.
목적이 뭐냐고.
야야 당장 죽일 거 아니면 참아. 고딩 때는 흑백이었는데 뭔가 알록달록해졌달까.
게시판에 종종 글 써도 되지? 암튼
Double meaning.
Yeah,
근데 재준아,
it's her turn to
넌
bully.
모르잖아. 알록달록한 세상.
Dang. Oh.
But her people who are colorblind like sensitive about it?
I don't know. I haven't met anyone who was sensitive about it. I've known a few
Oh.
people who were, and they weren't really sensitive. But in the show, this guy obviously is.
Oh,
know,
right, because he's
'cause-
supposed to be like perfect or
Yeah,
whatever.
right. It's a weakness that he doesn't want in him.
Right. He's gonna take it out on this fool. Where were you today?
운도 안 하고 하루 종일 전화도 다 씹고. 요즘 내가 진짜 헷갈려. 너보다 내가 운전을 더 많이 하는데 월급은 씨발 왜 네가 쳐갔지?
나 그냥 오빠랑 여기서 살까?
That'd be a dope bathroom to have.
What's your name again?
I want a bathtub that faces out looking at the city.
우리 빨간 머리 하나도 외롭고 슬프지만 굳세게 살게 해줄까 오빠가?
Psychopath.
지여정 선배님이 원장님 아들이에요. 와 진짜구나.
So this guy was gonna come up urgently to him and ask him about his like personal life.
전 원장님.
It seems like it.
It's kind of weird. It's
Well,
like,
he might have
know,
just
this
been like,
scene is
"Oh,
kinda weird."
is the director your mom?"
right.
진짜 살해당하셨어요? 자기가 살린 환자한테?
So his dad was killed by someone that he actually saved.
Right.
You know, this is definitely a Netflix show and on a cable channel because the regular networks would not allow you
Oh,
can't
right,
actually have someone
cigarettes.
smoking.
Right. They like blur it out.
No, they won't let you.
Oh, really?
Mhm.
Like when I see movies on like cable and stuff, like in hotels, when I stay in hotels, they always blur out cigarettes and knives.
Yeah, knives if they're gonna be used to hurt somebody.
Mhm. All right, it's hilarious.
So it might be the older shows where they blur it out or movies, but on like dramas, they'll show it where like the person's about to smoke and light it up, but they'll never actually light the cigarette.
I see.
걔 일부러 온 거죠 어제. 작정하고 온 듯.
So one thing I was thinking is, you know how like the people in the hospital are all related. I mean, if that girl's telling the truth, I had no reason to lie or whatever, right? But or she has no reason to lie. I was thinking, it's just like these rich people. They just keep it all in the family, you know.
잡아 보여줘.
I wonder if this girl's gonna join in on the revenge plan.
반갑겠다. 엄마 친구니까. 박진 선생님, 문동은 선생님.
That hair, man. It's
That's
like
my
her
COVID
wig.
hair.
Little kids like this are so cute. Their little uniforms and oh my gosh. Then they grow up to be such a-holes.
그런데도 친구를 괴롭힌다면 선생님은
That's a
Gary.
잘 지내보자.
that's a little strong for your first day of class with like 6-year-olds.
자는 거겠지.
So no matter where she goes.
Right. The creeps will find her, man.
Mm-hmm. That hair alone just labels you a creep.
He's like Javier Bardem from No Country for Old Men.
Yeah, exactly. That dude was crazy.
Like half Bardem and half like Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah. That's right. Oh man, Jeff Daniel there.
우리 예솔이 담임이 정말 너야? 특히 오늘 너무 재밌어. 나의 체육관에 온 걸 환영해, 연진아.
Dang. You know, for someone who has direct access to your kid, are you really gonna like act that way?
파이팅.
Can she just pull her kid out of the school?
Yeah,
So
but
much with
that
different
would
people.
probably lead to a lot of questions
Uh,
with her husband and with everyone else at school and leading to
right.
rumors. Remember, she's very afraid about. So
your homeroom teacher is dead.
yeah. Remember, she's very afraid of people finding out about her past.
All right.
내가 봤는데 아버지 천식이 있으셔서
훌륭한 교육자 집안이시잖아요.
He's still doing it.
선생님은 제 인생 망치실 때 그런 걱정하셨어요?
Look on her face.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
물론 알죠. 선배님은 제가 없는 거. 그때 저도 제가 없었거든요.
That's the Arthur meme.
이제 아버지가 제게 해주실 수 있는 거
What the?
존경스러운 아버지로 부탁드려요.
Yeah, he's killing his own father.
Crazy. Just to be a teacher?
Well, not he's already a teacher. I think he's going for something else
Oh, principal.
or something like that. But what he said is, rumors can basically cost him his future.
Right.
담임을 그렇게 만든
That's what everyone's worried about in the show, right? Their
Yeah.
like, reputations and stuff.
이 쌍년이.
Shit.
하나도 안 변해서 얼마나 다행인지. 제일
Yeah.
궁금한 얘기를 해볼까요?
Right. It wouldn't be fun if she was like a good person now, right?
Yeah. It would be that dilemma you talked about.
Right.
내 몸은 이미 다 망가뜨렸고 내 영혼도 부서뜨렸고 네가 뭘 더 할 수 있는데 내 정근 생각도 하지
Okay.
넌 지금 그냥 당하는 거야.
It's funny the earlier with the father and son, that guy seemed like a really nice, good guy.
Right.
But then to show that he's willing to kill his dad to protect his reputation and his future.
그럼 넌 내 결혼식 축의금 얼마일 건데? 100. 원.
Peg one is less than 10 cents. And then just to quickly explain, earlier when she was talking to the teacher's son, she called him 선배 instead of his name. I'll explain at the end of the episode today what they're doing, why they talk that way.
한진마루 신 대표님이 보내셨답니다.
가져가 마셔요. 그 신 대표가 보낸 거면 100 이하는 아닐 겁니다.
Over $1,000 for that bottle. So is he being nicer, or is he just kind of being a pompous prick?
Yeah, I think we're starting to see the cracks, probably because if my prediction is correct, she's gonna try to seduce this guy, and so we have to see that. Yeah, there we go. So he's
already thinking
he's
about
not as
her.
like squeaky clean as
내
as we thought
소원이
in the
뭐였는
beginning,
줄
right?
아니? 어디선가
See, she's eating kimbap again.
Yeah, I think leaving him in the rain while he's kind of telling him that is supposed to show he's kind of like,
Well,
I don't know.
that
not
definitely
great.
displays status.
생각해보면
Right.
왜 이런 거니? 누가 이랬어?
So she's helping her with. Do you remember who Soyi is?
The girl who who got pushed off the roof.
Yeah. So she was the one getting bullied before her, Dong Eun.
Right. Yeah, like this dude looks so young, man.
I was looking, he's actually the youngest of the group.
Yeah, he looks like super young.
But, I mean, when I mean youngest, he's only like a year or two younger than the other people.
소주 한 병이요.
Oh, that's how long time look good. Oh,
Day drinking, man.
and just like half a cup of soju. Oh,
이게 더 좋은 거 확실해?
네 목적이 돈이면 확실해. 누가 있는지 직접 확인해봐.
so he knew she was doing a DNA match.
Right.
That's why he asked Chejun earlier, did you sleep with her? Do you have a kid with her?
Right. He wants blackmail material for against his friend.
Yeah, probably.
Get money.
I missed that the first time. Eun-Sook.
유가족이 동의 안 하면 우리 마음대로 시신을 뺄 수도 없거든요.
It's real?
이거 돈이 많이 되겠는데?
So does that mean they met once in their past?
Right? Do they bump into each other?
Yeah, you're right. They didn't bump into each other.
That's an interesting touch, man. Like the coffee on his shirt from like holding it while he's running.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I saw that before. Who's this old man again?
Remember in the last episode, he was talking to that
Oh,
old guy
yeah.
in the rain.
That's right.
So he's a patient that he's got along with.
Right. So he's not a heartless, like money grubbing doctor. He cares about his patients.
뜨거운 거. 엄청 뜨거운 거 몸에 대진 않았어?
그놈 혼나야 돼.
So now he's purposely going in there to look for her.
That's so Wong Kar-wai. Have you seen any Wong Kar-wai movies?
Yeah, I saw the one. I forgot what it's called, but she was in it.
Oh yeah, she was in one of his movies. That's
Yeah,
right.
with I think it was Donnie Yen.
Right.
She played his wife. I forget what it's Grandmaster.
Yeah, Grandmaster.
Yeah.
Was it Donnie Yen? Yeah.
I
But
think it was Donnie Yen.
that's one of like his like kind of signature kind of shots is like people passing each other in slow motion and then like the strings playing and everything. The way they're dressed and everything is like just totally Wong Kar-wai.
Yeah, it's so funny to think about these directors who have these certain, like John Woo, the doves,
Right.
the spinning with the trench coat just kind of like fluttering and dual pistols. Michael Bay with that 360 spin.
허리가 좋았나 모르겠네요.
별로였어요. 전 좋은 사람이거든요.
Is he interested in her for her looks, for her skill,
I mean,
or that air
she's
of
an
mystery?
interesting person. Yeah, I think all of that, but it helps that she's like pretty, right?
Oh yeah.
좋죠? 도박.
Okay.
Yeah, that was over faster than I expected.
Yeah.
Okay, so episode 4, that one went pretty quickly. There was a couple of things that I didn't catch the first time that I was able to catch this time. One of the things I was gonna explain, and Danny obviously knows about it too. In Korea, one of the things they do is they don't really, unless you're friends of the same age or someone's younger than you don't really call them by their name. So what it is when someone is older than you, usually you call them by a title. If it's, for instance, if it was my friend's older brother, I would call him Hyung, right? Or for a sister, I would call her Nuna. She was calling that her elder classmate Sunbae. And what Sunbae is what you call someone who has more, what's the word? Not experience, but more what would you say, Danny? Tenure or anything like that, or an upperclassman of sort. Right? So if I'm working in a place, I'm new, I will call
seniority.
Seniority. There you go. That's the word I was looking for.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So if I'm new, I'm gonna call someone who has more seniority than me Sunbae. But as long as they're not in a higher position than me. If they're in a high position, then you just call them by their title.
Right.
So you'll always hear in Korea people calling someone, manager or, boss, CEO, whatever, or they'll say Sunbae, and instead of actually calling them by their name, even if that person's younger than you, if they have more seniority than you still call them Sunbae. So we covered that. Anything about this episode?
Yeah, I think in this episode, I've noticed that they're doing this kind of balance between kind of making her this kind of obsessive person, and maybe even like like kind of scary, kind of stalkerish, maybe dangerous. And I think the other characters are kind of meant to feel that, especially we see the main villainess. she's really fearful for her daughter,
Yeah.
because this lady showed up and is acting like, crazy, right? But then at the same time, they've done a good job of kind of eliciting our sympathy at the same time, so that she doesn't go into full villain territory. I think that's pretty interesting. I'm trying to think of other like and there's probably many examples of where we kind of sympathize with the villain. Because in this story, uh, would you say she's the villain in the story? She's trying to be the villain in the story, basically, right?
She's trying to be the villain to her bullies.
You're right.
So, but has she actually? She's done some shady stuff like digging through the guy's
Uh-huh.
trash. She did a
Uh-huh.
little bit of villainy, right? Blackmailing that chairman for her
Right.
job
To get the
position.
job.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
threatening to expose him and
Uh-huh.
everything. So there's a
Right.
little bit there, but nothing major yet that would make you want to turn from her.
Yeah, this episode was a lot more fun. I think I don't get the whole uh how the girl's death is gonna make him money.
All right, let's piece it together.
Okay, right. So, she was the victim before. Because of her death, she was like next up or whatever. She actually saw the girl falling to her death, which is traumatic in itself. Man. It's like, how do you recover from that? And then, but she must have seen or know who did it. She at first implied that maybe the tattoo guy did it, right? And he was like, "No, it wasn't me." Okay, and then now he's trying to find blackmail material against the rich guy, right? Maybe with the kid, that situation, like that's what he's trying to kind of use as his like way to blackmail his friend.
Hmm.
But
Which is,
but
by the
she
way, is a
says here,
great friend.
right. And then she says, "Oh, this is what you're actually looking for, or this is gonna help you get your money." And so then, and then it's finding the girl's body, and she hasn't been claimed because I guess her parents want to kind of continue the investigation or something, right? I
Yeah.
guess that's their goal is to. They're saying it's not a suicide, and so like once you bury the body, it becomes much harder to kind of use it as
To,
evidence, I guess,
yeah,
for
to look
proving
for
like
any
a
kind of
criminal case.
evidence.
Right. And so they've kept her body fresh there. And so um maybe I don't know, maybe the type of injuries she has on her body, no, but they could say that's signs of like self-harm or something. I'm not sure. I'm not sure like so far like how either of them views like a person's dead body as like blackmail material unless they know exactly who did it and how they can prove that he did it or she did it, right? Um yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
honestly,
probably missing something.
I don't remember what it is that he found that he sees potential as blackmail material.
Okay,
So
all right,
yeah, I don't
all
remember
right.
that either.
Okay, so like the audience at this point, we're just left to be guessing still, right?
Yeah,
There hasn't been any concrete kind of clues yet. Is that true, or am
yeah.
I
I
missing
mean,
something? Like,
we're only in the fourth episode. We've got 12 more
that's true.
still, so they're not gonna
Okay.
reveal much right now.
One thing I was thinking is because so many she's kind of let so many people in on her plans and her secrets and stuff, like including random strangers, like the cleaning lady, this nurse lady, and even like one of the bad guys, right? And even what's his name, the school like superintendent or whatever. I feel like she doesn't plan on living. That's kind of my thing. Like she doesn't like because eventually there's
Ah,
so many people who are aware of her plans and witness to the things that she's doing that if anything really serious happens to anybody, okay, that's the whole like we'll keep the blood off our hands thing. I was thinking if eventually all her like schemes and stuff are revealed and how she's hurt people like directly or indirectly, I don't think she's planning on going to jail or anything. So I'm thinking like she's not planning to make it out of this like show alive or whatever, or out of this scheme alive. I'm not sure. That's just something I'm thinking, you know.
That's
Unless she's
very
gonna like,
very interesting. I never like that thought never occurred to me.
oh really?
Yeah, that's
Because
really interesting.
she already said you like destroyed my body, you crushed my soul and everything. I feel like this might be just like kind of like if this is her whole life's mission since she's been a kid or whatever, and now she's kind of, and she said like, you're my dream, right? And when she fulfills that dream, what's next? I mean, can she really go on to live a happy life after that? Like, I mean, she's
Yeah, I mean, you're
uh
not wrong there. We've seen movies like that.
uh
Right? So I can't think of a specific example, but
uh
I know I've seen some movies that have the same kind of idea, right? That once the person gets their revenge, there's just nothing for them in the future, right? They just kind of give up.
I was surprised that they kind of had her reveal herself so soon, but I get it now because it extends the torture, because now like they don't know what she's capable of doing, or what she's up to, and so now they got to keep thinking about it, and yeah, and um right, and when I first in the show, when they first said, oh, like I'm your teacher, I was thinking, why don't you just pull her out of school? She's like, she's rich, you can send her anywhere, and when the girl was just like, oh, like I'll just transfer her and follow her to any school she goes to. Like, okay, that makes sense. I mean, maybe they send her abroad. You think Song Hye-Kyo's character would chase them to like another country?
I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it. And
It's awesome.
and what else I found with one thing I had thought of when I watched this before for the first time was the reason she exposed herself so early was I think at least for us as a viewer to see that the bullies, they slowly get to figure out, like as you just said a little while ago, right? She's not the same person anymore. She's not, their tactics don't work on her anymore, right?
Right.
So it plays that psychological game on them too now, with like,
Right.
what are you gonna do and what can I do, because she's no longer afraid of me.
Right.
All right, well, everyone, thank you for joining us. Hope you enjoyed what we had for you here today. Remember to like and subscribe. Check out our Patreon. Help us out there if you feel like it. Otherwise, you can always just watch us here on YouTube. And subscribing doesn't cost anything. One thing I did want to quickly mention is, for whatever reason, YouTube is giving copyright issues for this show with any type of video that's on there, any footage. So unfortunately, I have to turn down the opacity on it and put up a little disclaimer about copyright. And that's the only way I'm able to get it up there. So hopefully you can get past that part and just watch it, enjoying it with us. But again, thank you, and we will see you next time watching Glory episode 5. We're watching whatever. Signing off.
Thank you.